New year, new resolutions, new semester, all back here at the University of Texas at Austin, and that only means one thing. It's time for new editions of the Greene Room. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have you tuned in again. We're starting back for the semester, and it is my personal New Year's resolution to bring you the sporting news every single day from here on out for, well, as long as we can keep this thing going. Glad to have you in the Greene Room. As I said, I'm Garrett Greene, and the objective of this little thing is to bring you all the latest scores, news, and information. Quick little condensed version of it from around the sporting world. Don't have time to catch Sports Center in the morning, you can catch it right here. So we're going to try and keep you up to date, and we'll start with some stuff that's happening in the hot stove right now. For those of you who aren't big baseball aficionados, that's the baseball offseason. So here we go, starting with arbitration and a couple of players that were able to avoid it. Starting with Cole Hamels, who signed a one-year, $15 million deal with the Philadelphia Phillies today. Jacoby Ellsbury also signed a one-year, $8 million deal with Boston. Now, he was only paid $2.4 million last season after missing most of 2010, the season before that, with an injury. And all he did last year was bat .321 with 32 homers, 39 stolen bases, and 105 RBI. Good enough to have him be the runner-up for the MVP. So, you put up those kind of numbers, get money, get paid. That's what they always say. So there you go. 1 year, $8 million deal for Jacoby Ellsbury. Now on to somebody who hasn't quite gotten signed yet. Starting pitcher Tim Lincecum of the San Francisco Giants requested $21.5 million in arbitration. That is the second largest offer ever that a player has requested from a team. The first one, Roger Clemens, back in 2005, requesting a record $22 million from the Houston Astros. Now, the Giants did offer Lincecum $17 million, and that is the highest amount of arbitration money ever offered. The second highest was the $14.25 million that the New York Yankees offered to Derek Jeter back in 2001. Now, the Giants did lock up third baseman Pablo Sandoval. He signed a 3-year, $17.15 million deal with the club today. Now, a little bit of injury news coming out of Major League Baseball in the offseason. The Tigers' batting lineup takes a major hit as they lose designated hitter Victor Martinez, who tore his left ACL earlier last week. He is reportedly going to be out for the 2012 season. He hit .330 with 103 RBI in the season last year as he helped the Detroit Tigers make it all the way to the AL Championship Series. Now, on to a little bit of off-the-field business. The World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals visited the White House today, and manager Tony La Russa was not there, and neither was former first baseman Albert Pujols, but the Cardinals had their welcome at the White House, got their day there, and got to celebrate their championship with the president. Now on to a little bit of NFL news. Jim Caldwell was fired today by the Indianapolis Colts. He went 2-14 this season with the Colts after leading them to, ironically, a 14-2 record in his first year as a head coach, 26-22 overall. But apparently after the disaster that was this season, even though they lock up the number 1 overall pick, which Jim Irsay, the owner, is saying that they are going to take Andrew Luck there, was not enough for Caldwell to retain his job. So he is on the market again. The Colts looking for a new coach along with the new quarterback that they're reportedly going to be bringing in. And speaking of Andrew Luck, the guy who finished in front of him in the Heisman Trophy winner, Robert Griffin III from up there in Waco, reportedly could be taken number 2 overall. According to a source that told NFL.com, they said that the Cleveland Browns would be willing to trade up to the number 2 overall pick to take Robert Griffin III. Now, this will be replacing Colt McCoy, who had a 74.6 passer rating this last year, but with no defense, no wide receivers, and no offensive line. You can't blame the young McCoy, but hey, give Robert Griffin III his props. Heisman Trophy winner. Now he looks like he's going to be a top 5 pick. Great news for that young man. Now on to some actual scores from tonight, starting in college basketball, where you had Michigan and Michigan State going at it. A very close game, and it's number 19 Michigan edging number 9 Michigan State 60-59. A last-second shot does not fall for the Spartans, so they go on. That is only their fourth loss of the season, second loss in Big Ten play. Other games on the night: Kentucky tops Arkansas 86-63, and Georgetown beat DePaul 83-74. A little bit of unranked action. You have Florida State topping Maryland 84-70. LSU beats Auburn 65 54-58 in overtime. And Oklahoma tops Texas Tech 64-55. Now on to some NBA scores. The Warriors beat the Cavaliers 105-95 tonight. The Magic used Dwight Howard's 25 and 17 to go on to beat the Bobcats 96-89. Bobcats fall to 1-6 on the road. The Magic stay at 5-1 at home. The Miami Heat used a 39 third quarter, apparently something I need to work on, in order to beat the San Antonio Spurs tonight. They outscored them 39-12 in that quarter after being down 63-49 at the half. They go on and roll to a win 120-98. San Antonio 0-5 on the road, but that means they're 9-0 at home this season. The Bulls were without Derrick Rose tonight, but they go on to win 118-97 against the Phoenix Suns behind Carlos Boozer's 31 points. The Rockets topped the Pistons 97-80. The Nuggets used Corey Brewer scoring a season-high 22 points to top Brandon Jennings' 30. The Nuggets go on to beat the Bucks 105-95. And the Jazz topped the Clippers 108-79. Chris Paul did not play in that game. Well, that's all that we have for you tonight. Thanks for tuning into the Greene Room. We'll be back again tomorrow night, I promise, so make sure to stay tuned. Until then, have a good evening.